All right, everybody, welcome back to Oathwire. I am your guest, Chris Peterson, and I am joined here today by our special host, Matt Biggs.
Hello, and to my co-host, Michael. Hello. Who is this Chris Peterson chap?
I don't know what's happening, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I have no idea who you are. How did you get onto this and even how did you get this link? That's just bizarre.
Let's just say if I want to be there, I'll be there.
Yes. Okay, well, guys, as you can hear, where all three of us are back together. It's the original crew from episodes 1s and 2s.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So welcome back, Chris. It's amazing to have you back on the podcast after your hiatus with children and moving and getting new jobs and all the rest of it. So have you missed us?
A little bit.
A little bit. Only a little bit.
No, I missed you guys.
Damn, that's rude.
I just wanted to see your reaction.
And Michael, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Things have been going pretty swell here lately.
Excellent. We like well and we like swell. See, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
I set you up for success again, Matt.
Exactly. Well, guys, we are not going to have an overarching sort of what's going on and all that sort of kind of thing. No topic really, just going to be us chatting for about an hour, maybe longer, who knows, about how awesome we are and how awesome Oathmark is. So
in that order.
In that order. But we are going to start, as we always start, with what's new. So what's new for you, Michael and Chris? And I'm going to take it, whoever says go first.
Well, we have embarked in a long campaign, and we have just entered into turn 2 of said campaign.
Okay.
So we've been getting a few more games of Oathmark in lately, which has been fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, we got 3 players involved, and we're playing every other week. And the goal is to eventually get to the point where we can get 2 games in per day when we play every other week. But currently we're stuck at 1. So that is making the campaign, which, this turn 2 has a total of 5 battles going on the map. What is that, 10 weeks? So, averaging 3.5 months per turn. It's going to be a bit, but it has been a blast.
Excellent. Yeah, and you recorded it. The first battle I've seen in a long time on War Corgi, which is excellent.
Yeah, we took about 6 months off and then got induced to come back and been having fun with it. I think the next video up for the channel is going to be a kingdom overview for my kingdom in this campaign. I had pretty good success, and a lot of people liked my initial one when it came to Pembrokeshire. So we're going to do it again with Night Falls and feature the undead and the Skaven that I have in this army.
Nice. So, Chris, what's new for you?
Awesome. Well, besides moving back to the area and getting to reconnect with my gaming buddies and finally get some Oathmark games in, we started playing with. This is the first time I've played Oathmark with someone other than Michael. So yeah. I now have a different opponent. His name is Jin. And
yes. It's Jim. Just for the record, his name is Jim, not Jen.
Jim.
Right. Okay. Sorry, my bad. So Jim, yeah, he's obviously it plays a bit different than Michael, so that's just been a new experience for me to navigate that. I think Michael and I play together so much, we just get in a flow and learn each other's style so well. So
that's good. That's good to have somebody else come in and mess your mind up, though, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it is. It really is good. So that's cool. I'm glad we get to share that with them. And so for the Oathmark world, that's kind of what's new for me. I've got a whole bunch of cheap kind of medieval army soldiers coming in to paint up and try to see if I can make them look presentable enough to be my soldiers on the battlefield for my human city.
Okay.
And just a ton of bases to share amongst the group, and we've upped our points from 2,000 points to 3,000 points for our standard games.
Yeah.
And number 1, it is like 1.5 times more fun, but number 2, they take 1.5 times longer.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
so
do.
so that's kind of, I guess, what's new with us in this game right now.
Oh, excellent. I've been, me and my friend have been started our campaign. We're on campaign number 2, turn 2 even. Yeah, we're playing like twice a week, so we're getting through it a little bit quicker. But
Nice.
yes, we've got neutrals and all sorts of things going on, which is really cool because we randomly rolled up neutral countries, sort of nations. So they've got a real sort of hodgepodge of stuff. So last game I played was on Thursday, and I had goblin slaves and necromancers and human chariots, which I would never usually know.
Did they have those in the Dark Ages, Matt? Because
No,
I
they
haven't
did
heard
not,
anybody
but
speak about that.
Nope. But it was like they've got each of the nations has got 7 lands, so it's a very limited choice, and it wasn't my choice. But so it's really cool. It's really different, really different sort of way of playing, because you're not in your mindset, and then when he invades somebody else's another country, you get another bunch of stuff to try and make an army list up with. I did. We got one of them had hobbits and a shitload of magic users, and yeah, they lost really badly.
Now, I'm curious, when you roll for these random troop types, is this from your pool of already painted models, or are you just like proxying a bunch of stuff at this point?
I would love to say it was all our painted models. They're not all painted, but we have got the models. So so yeah, we've got, when we got goblins, they're goblins, and dwarves are dwarves, and I'd love to say that we had everything painted, but we don't. So
well, you're halfway there with the model, so you're not far
yeah,
off.
yeah, absolutely.
We've been doing some proxies over on this side of the pond. My friend Jim is taking to use elven warriors, which you might have some thoughts about.
Yeah.
And since we still don't have a heavy elf kit, essentially I've just painted them a little bit differently. And no matter if you use the proper models or not, Chris is going to forget how far they're supposed to move and whether or not they have shields. But
yes,
we do try to make it as close as possible when we proxy. Still hate doing that, though.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So yeah, I'd love to say we've got everything painted, but we've got the undead's the undead. We've got wraiths. We've got all of the. I bought a new vampire because hey, vampires are cool.
They are cool.
Yeah.
They're making a comeback, I hear.
Yeah. And I've been using the necromancer, level 3 necromancer with the burrowing worm spell. Got to be done. I've just been tearing. The worm just sits there and gets in the way of everything. It doesn't necessarily do much, but it's just really annoying. It's not like been devastating, but it's just, he's like, well, that's ruined my plans, and I've used that twice, and
it's the fear that it could, right?
Yeah.
This might be the turn.
Yeah.
It
appeared, and it just touching one of his magic users and ate him, and then basically sat in front of his catapult for the next 3 turns, and he's trying to move his catapult that way, hoping that I didn't activate and smash into him, and it's been great. So and we're doing the battles. We're rolling. We've got all of the battles from all the different books. So we rolled to see on there. So we played the Ice Palace with the old spells coming out of it, and yeah. So it's real mix up of games going on in there. So it's been good fun. It's been good fun, and we've still got our long-term game with the 3 of us playing as well. That's my friends Michael as Mick, sorry, is having his games room, his loft. I don't know if you guys have lofts, but you probably do because you've got roofs. He's having that converted, so he hasn't been able to play, but we're playing that still, so that's been good. And
now, our experience over here lately with games is they've been really close. Won't you agree, Chris?
Yes. We're talking mere points.
Yes, really? Like I think we've played 4 games of the campaign now, and all of them just came down to the wire. And I think part of that is we're just a little bit we're doing less experimentation when it comes to our army list, and we've honed it. So we're not getting the blowouts as, maybe we pick something that isn't worth the points or isn't competitive, or we don't know how to play with, or we've reached the learning curve and the top of that hill when it comes to things like chariots and cavalry. So they have been really good. Has it been the same with you, Matt? Have they all been pretty tight games?
Yeah, no, it has actually. So where we've nation versus nation have been quite powerful. Yeah, close. Sorry, where we've been fighting with the designs that what I want to have been very close. And actually, a couple of the ones that we've done with random armies have been close. I've kind of got to get to know Martin's, who's my opponent on that campaign, style, and he's been going in for like two blocks of Death Star Elf Archers, 20 with true flight all over the place, champion in there and all that. But so I just sort of stopped playing that game and went different, so he'll block it up in the middle, and also I'll come around the flanks, and I'll just stand there at the back and let him come to me while I'm moving around the flanks. So yeah, we get to a point where I can either smash his Death Stars or I can't, and then we know kind of where it's going to happen. So involves catapults getting involved, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so they are close battles, and then I get things like with the halflings. Yeah, that wasn't a close battle. They are not good.
Wow.
Oh, wait a second.
Wow.
I think you go back to episode 15, 13, 11, somewhere in there. I had some pretty good uses for halflings in a lot of scenarios. Yeah. I would disagree.
I agree. I disagree as well, actually. It's just I wasn't used. I haven't played with them, so it was like, and they were the main bulk of the army, and I don't think I had the right support for them, so it didn't do them any favors. But it was a fun game while it lasted.
Yeah, they are auxiliary troops, not supposed to be the main effort or the vanguard.
No.
Yeah, I would imagine they would have a hard time hitting anything defense 12 or higher in any way.
Yes, they did. But they were still good. So yeah, no, it's been good fun, and can't complain. So we're gonna carry on playing, see where it goes. We've got a couple of islands on ours where there's a dragon living. So it means one army will have a dragon in it if we can capture the island. But you've got to fight an army with a dragon in it to capture it. So that's our one thing. So but we play 3,000 point armies as well. So we've got all sorts of going on. And I know, Michael, me and you are going to do an episode where we talk about homebrew campaign rules. So that's one for the future as well.
Yeah, but while I got Chris on here, let's prep our content a little bit. What have you liked so far about the campaign, and what's working well and what's not working, Chris, in general?
Oh man.
This is why he was the original host of Oathmark, folks.
Yeah.
Host of Oathmark.
Oathwire, excuse me. It's been a while.
I mean, same thing.
It's synonymous.
Yeah. I am Oathmark. I think what I really like about the campaign is two things. I really like the idea that you're moving the armies of a unique character. So when it comes to like the storytelling elements a little bit, it previously as part of the campaign, I would just be like, it's always this guy, or and then I just choose to randomly switch it up. Okay, we got to make a story now for why this person isn't here. There's no need for story anymore. Like, this is Sir Robert of Evelshire's cavalry army, and they are going this way. And like, there's no, he was sick, so he wasn't in this battle, or something like that. So, and you assign your unique characters to it, even monsters and such. So I don't want to give away too much what you guys are going to talk about, but when it comes to some of the bigger things, you kind of already know what's coming. And I think that makes it really interesting to track what's going on the map and kind of expect your games a little bit in that sense. And I really like the resource system that Michael has put together. I like how he has taken the classic Oathmark style, and that every bonus is a slight nudge, but none of them are truly game-breaking, it seems so far. And so you get the most of this one resource, and maybe you got a few extra points. You get the most of this resource, and you can do a few extra things on the map. And we just rank it 1, 2, and 3. So it's not like every 3 wood you have, you get this. It's just, oh, you're the miser of the wood. So, you get to pick this bonus and such. So I really like the way the resource system plays. And we can even grab new territories with cities on the map. There's just ways to move around. So, yeah. So I think the 2 biggest things that I thought are cool about this campaign is moving your unique armies around the map, and then also playing with the resources.
I think the map is visually compelling as well. It's really cool just to stand there and look at the map and where resources are located. The system that Joseph A. McCullough set up is brilliant in that you got the 2 kingdoms fighting back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's just 2 circles. And more often than not, the person who's attacking isn't going to win that battle. It's just going to be a back and forth. On the map, you can actually see the lines move. And since we start with a number of empty territories, that first round or 2 has been people moving armies into vacant territories and also launching attacks. So we have seen a lot of movement on the map, which has been neat.
Yeah, I think coming off the back of we doing map campaign as well, I think it does definitely give you that extra oomph to the campaign. We do similar, so it's quite and we did develop ours differently. So we have got unique armies, and they've got commanders, and you can't change those armies. Where you can do replacements and stuff like that. So all that sort of things. You gain new territories. I mean, our map's massive, so but we've put a limit on what you can draw from the armies. So you can't have 10 territories with with giants or something like that. So yes, I've got 4 giants in every single army. But so we're not doing that. So we've limited that sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's the map side of it's I think is really good actually. So and you get to draw maps.
In the last time Chris and Jim were over here to play a game, it was like 7 hours, but after that 7 hours, we went outside and we talked about it a little bit. And the first thing I said was
7 hours.
Like 7 hours, man. It might have been more.
Wow. I bet half of that was Chris talking, isn't it?
Laughing
well,
mostly.
There's 2 players. I am literally playing half of it, right?
So the thing I said when I first went outside was what I love about the campaign, and this is any campaign, is the context it provides to each individual game. Because when Chris first came back in town, we met at a local game store and we played a game or 2, and they were fun, but not nearly as fun when you have the backdrop of a campaign and you're using the same characters over and again, and there just seems to be a little bit more weight to the battle. It's still fun, and you're still doing it to have fun, but when you win that battle and you move your army into his territory and he has to withdraw on the map and you get to see that's just another level of excitement for me, and that's why I've always encouraged campaign play, and maybe getting a little bit more creative with your campaign play will help that out as well.
I definitely agree. Couldn't agree more, in fact.
Yeah, moving armies in and pushing armies back. I don't think that's happened to me yet. I think it has happened to Jin though. So
yeah, you were 2-0 with 2 incredibly close victories, barely turning back. Who did I send against you? It was Rakovsky and the Army of Undead. Yeah. I tried to cross a river with some house rules there, and then nearly falling to the elves on a just the standard battle line mission where you guys lined up to battle each other, but both of them super close.
Oh my gosh, I feel like explaining. We played the river scenario.
So you've come up with you've come up some house rules for that, have you?
Yeah.
Go,
And
go for it.
you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Is what I was gonna say. I was gonna plug my own YouTube channel.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to
no,
see the
absolutely.
game.
Yeah.
So go
the
ahead, Chris.
link, as usual, will be down below.
So you can wade across the river. You just gotta end your turn up to it, and then you gotta move like difficult terrain going over it is the way that we rule it to make it a little more doable. But it's still like probably the most heavily in favor of the defender mission in the game, right? I played my
Yes.
goal. There's like 3,000 point battle, and I think at the end of the day I was up by like. So then I said, "That's no hobbit. That's my wife."
Oh! That's no way to speak about my wife.
Once again, Chris, you got disconnected there. It has been 10 minutes, and of course, you've been talking this whole time, but no one has heard it. So I just want to say welcome back again.
Yeah, lucky viewers.
Okay, well, let me start over. All right.
Did Matt say lucky viewers? You have really taken on Chris's persona here.
I know. See, as soon as he's on, it goes all wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah. No matter who's the host of this program, I feel like I constantly have to correct them that this is an audio only format.
It is an audio. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Moving on.
That's why I'm here.
So you were saying, Chris, in the beginning.
So we were playing this river campaign, and so far still nobody has ever won on offense on the river campaign. But I just came the closest to ever losing a river scenario battle. I think it was like a 32-point difference, and I think Michael will tell you he was all happy at the end of the game, and I was all kind of frustrated, but I'd won, right? And I was trying to figure out what this went my way. Why am I unhappy? But it was because I like to compare this to like a 5A football school barely squeaking out a win against like a 2A school. Okay. That like the scenario was so heavily in my favor, in my opinion, that it's like, and I just barely won that. I feel like I got schooled. Like. My safety net was a scenario.
For all you non-Americans, I have no idea what you just said either.
So it's like Premier League playing, third division of your English football.
Okay. And
if you win by one goal, like in the last 30 seconds, and you're the big team, you're still kind of feeling a little embarrassed.
Okay.
Well, the interesting thing about that scenario, if it was capture the flag, one person would start with all the flags because he has all of his forces on his side of the river, and it's up to the air person to try to get across it. Now, some of those games have been surprisingly close. What I really liked about opening up the entire river and it being fordable across, although difficult all the way around, is it didn't open up some room for maneuver, which is something that we've talked about before. We did have different points of attack instead of just the 3, and we had different plays there where Chris couldn't just set up forces to flank me as I came through either a ford or the bridge because he had to account for anybody coming across the river as well. So It did seem to work really well, and hopefully everyone who saw the game on my YouTube channel enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I did. It was good to sit down and watch a proper battle report again for Oathmark. So
yeah, there hasn't been a lot of content coming out for Oathmark. I've noticed.
No. I was doing some at one point. My problem was my gaming room has been taken over by my friend's son, as they've been having some building work done. So that was a non-starter in my house. So. And that's all the lights, and I'm not trooping that around everywhere. So, but I've learned some new stuff. So I'm hoping to put some more battle reports out for sure. I've learned some new. Been watching all that sort of stuff to make it a little bit better for the viewer, not the listener, the viewer for my YouTube channel. But yeah, so it's good. Yeah, it's it got me into the hobby, didn't it? At the end of the day, it got me doing onto Oathwire. It got me onto everything that's, as Chris points out, dominating the world of Oathmark is Matt Bix's mission.
Indeed.
He runs everything.
In the game and out, I guess.
He slowly.
But I think part of the reason too there might not be a lot of content being put out for this game right now is that there's not exactly any new releases coming when it comes to the books and more units and spells and such. So first off, if you produce Oathmark and you're listening, please give us more stuff. So second off, would be I guess encouraged to see there be some more community driven expansions for this game. I know that for a while there, Matt, you and I were talking about putting one together, and I think with just I literally moved states, and I think things just fell through, and we became busy. But so it's definitely one of those things where you don't want to see the hype die down with just no new releases on the horizon. But who knows? Maybe we could do something about that.
Yeah. So I'm going to disagree with you, Chris. I don't think it has anything to do with the new releases, because when I think about who was producing Oathmark content, it was the War Corgi YouTube channel, and the guy who ran that had kind of a mental health crisis and took a while to come back from. And then his friend abandoned him at the same time. But now he's back.
Sounds like a friend's fault. Yeah.
Scruffy Crow. But Scruffy was doing more painting videos, and he's still doing those instead of battle reports. Johnny Watkins just had a couple battle reports on. They were very good, normally with Scruffy Crow, but some other players as well. And then you had Chris from the Ash and Stone Network, who, anytime you're playing a campaign against yourself, you're going to have like limited stomach to do that and keep recording, especially with as much editing as Chris put in there. So I'm not surprised that kind of ran its course and did very well.
Well, he's put 2 new episodes out over the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Are they Oathmark related though?
Yes,
I did not tell that.
They are.
I did not know if that was another gaming system that he was showing.
No, they are. He's back on the Oathmark. Yeah, no, I spoke to him on the paint and chat the other week. He's back at that. He's put down the 1-page rule stuff that he was doing, that he got sponsored to do, and he's got back to Oathmark. He's painted some beautiful cavalry. He's put some STLs out for the guys to go and print, and girls to go and print off the shields that he's done for that cavalry. So he's back at it. I think he missed doing Oathmark.
Well, that's super exciting because it's a fun game to play and it's a fun game to film. And Chris was definitely missed. So I will check that out.
He's got a bit of undead going on there, so that's quite good fun. Yeah,
it's as much fun as the single player campaign is, though. I think the Oathmark community, or maybe Osprey, or together community and Osprey, chip in to buy Chris a friend that he can play games against. And I don't know how much that would cost, but I'm sure in New Zealand it's probably pretty expensive because there's like 7 people down there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think if we could do it, that would be worthwhile.
Okay, well, there you go. If you have a look below, I will start up a GoFundMe for Chris to get a gaming buddy. Chris, we love you, but apparently you need a friend.
Maybe Chris, what we can do is the loser of our campaign moves to New Zealand.
Wow.
Has to be on the rival channel. Not that Ash and Stone and War Corgi are rival channels.
No. That seems fair. That seems fair.
All right, true. So you and I will gang up on Jim.
Well,
and Jim will move to New Zealand.
To be honest, though, I'd be happy to move to New Zealand. At least they pronounce and spell words properly.
It'd be totally much more difficult for any of us Americans to move down there.
Exactly. But I'd be happy to go and play, and he can go and edit, and I can do Oathwire, and he can do the editing. That sounds a good plan.
Now, Matt, he will require you to paint your model. So I don't know if that's going to change your calculus, but Chris has some excellently painted models on the Ash and Stone channel. He's not
He
gonna.
does. Oh,
He's not gonna allow you to bring in some gray plastic.
No. I paint. I'm painting right now as we're talking. So painting's not a fear for me, but they ain't gonna be as pretty as his. So I can live with that though. So as long as it's got some paint on. At the end of the day, they are going to be better than Mr. Peterson. So
hey, there's a reason why we do wide angle shots on the War Corgi channel. You know, nothing too close.
No.
And I'm talking about my painting here.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about Chris's, but
Damn, what is the punching bag?
No.
Back, Chris.
That was totally misconstrued. I was talking about mine.
Okay.
I painted so it looks good on the channel from 3 or 4 feet away. It doesn't hold up under scrutiny like Chris's models from the Ash and Stone channel.
I will be honest. Mine are good. All mine look good from that distance as well, and I'm happy with that. So,
in the effort of keeping things simple, when there's Chris from Ash and Stone and Chris here, we would just call him Chris and Stone.
Chris and Stone. The good Chris.
We can say it with a New Zealand accent. Just you're Chris and he's Chris.
He's in that man. Fish and chips, mum. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. I think we've just insulted every single New Zealander in the world, but all 3 of them that listen to this podcast no longer are.
I've seen Flight of the Conchords. I'm an expert on New Zealand culture.
I too have seen Flight of the Conchords.
That genuinely surprises me, actually. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Yes, well, first season at least.
Okay. Was that on BBC America or something?
I think it was an HBO, but
okay, fair enough.
Regardless.
Okay. Anyway, that's what's new. Oh wow. So, but what I do want to talk about, Chris, this Chris.
Not
so,
Chris.
Yes, please. We have passed a landmark. The landmark being a year of Oathwire. And we started it so long ago, well, over a year ago now, so it's not that long, but it feels that way.
Yeah.
So I just think it'd be great for the listeners just to recap on why you decided that you wanted to do it.
Well, okay, so here's the simple answer, and then here's the longer answer.
Okay.
I did it because no one was doing it. So
nice.
So before I changed careers and I'm now in the tech industry and such, when I was going to school in order to do this, I had nothing but time. At my job is working in security to pay off my school bills and such. And I think I was meeting up with Michael like at least once a week, sometimes twice, right? To play Oathmark, and it was all new, and they were sending out new releases constantly. So I had nothing but free time, and I just threw so much free time into this game. I wrote a crazy amount of stories,
you did.
Poetry about this game. I just went head first, and I was just so excited and passionate about this game. And then I wanted to produce content, and so I knew no one was really doing a podcast, and so I put one together, and it actually turned out to be pretty easy to find people online willing to sit with you for about an hour and go over the game they enjoy as well, go over Oathmark. And so I really just kind of put together because I wanted to produce content because I love the game and I was excited about the game, because it was really just it was interesting to see a game with so many different YouTube creators creating for the game. And I just didn't know anyone doing a podcast for Oathmark.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
No, that's cool. I remember you posting up saying I want some hosts, and I was like, yes, me.
And then you're like, step 1 complete. I'm gonna own this podcast in 30 episodes.
And then I was only allowed to do 1 episode. That was it. And I was like, oh, it's like that, is it?
I initially I had so many
You
volunteers.
you did.
So I had to be fair to everyone.
No, I agree. No, it was fantastic. It's just, I mean, at the time for me, it was just sort of things of what this community, the whole Oathmark community is about, and lots of other games as well. I'm not, not just not everybody's. To be honest, you go on to all of Joe's other games, and I see lots of my friends are on all of the other games as well. So, it's like-minded people are out there doing the same thing, and it was just like amazing for me to be able to just natter about wargaming. So I was quite happy, and listening to you and Michael was brilliant. It certainly was what I think attracted a lot of our viewers. Oh, I did it again! Listeners. Well, the listeners into just your attitude towards this, and you're laughing, and Michael's knowledge, I suppose, which was so and still, Michael is still, as far as I'm concerned, is the master of this game when it comes to knowledge, because he's always pointing me out wrong things when I'm doing it. So
Oh yeah.
Not to mention how well I do on all the quizzes on this.
You do.
I mean, save the one that was ridiculously hard.
Uh,
Like, what number am I thinking of? I think in addition to the time when Chris started this, and I encouraged him to do it, he was just entirely naive about how hard it would be to create content on a regular basis. And it's a good thing he had all that energy pent up, because it is difficult, and it's been such a neat thing to see you carry it on, Matt.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad this is still going on, and that there was
I am. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
someone excited enough and good enough at it to be able to take it over. So
yeah, we had a bit of a blip, but that was more to do with my time. We had a few weeks off just because of some stuff going on in the real world, but I mean, it's been pretty much continuous, and I'm still getting people wanting to come on, new people. I've just all right, it's not Oathmark, but I've just covered some stuff with a guy from North Carolina. He's doing some Ranger stuff, but he's super excited about Joe's games, and I'm doing all the other bits and pieces, and doing weekly content's difficult sometimes. It's like,
very.
Oh, what's new? Okay, let's talk about this. So, but it's developed. It's keeping going. The momentum you started was amazing. I can't say. Yeah, I'm truly grateful that you were happy to hand it over to me and not just wrap it up and say that's that then. Because you could have done, yeah.
I'm taking this ship down with me.
It's my ball. I'm going fucking home. I'm going home.
I will point out that Chris handed it over after we exhausted every conceivable topic in the game, so making your job that much more difficult.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
We're trying to, it's been interesting trying to find topics, and that's why we've sort of moved it out to some of the other games and stuff like that. But I think we come back, and for me, the core of Oathwire is Oathmark. It's in the name. But it's when you get new people coming in and they're talking, and I've got Robert coming on as a regular sort of co-host at the moment, and he was we're doing some deep dives on models, and there's all that sort of stuff is there. It's just you've got to dig around for it a bit more, and getting prepped for it is fun as well. So and it's just there's so many Americans and Canadians and the like that want to do this, and it just means me staying up till 2 o'clock in the bloody morning sometimes. Which I genuinely don't mind, actually. I've only fallen asleep in and forgot one once. Though I think I fell asleep on you once, Chris, didn't I?
I think you did, yeah.
But in fact, I know I did. So, but it's so much fun. I mean, for you, Michael, I mean, what have you taken? I mean, for me, obviously, we hark back, and it's for you, your content was what dragged me screaming and with joy into this game. So, and fantasy and back into the world I played as a teenager and doing D&D. So, but never did. I was historical all the way, and now I'm not. But what have you enjoyed the most out of this? What do you think you've content-wise? Yeah.
I was recently on another podcast that was
What?
Miniature Wargaming Factory, talking just about my channel. And what I love most about the games I play is they're all different.
Yeah.
And, this is Chris's first Rank and Flank fantasy game. But like you, Matt, I played Warhammer as a teenager, and so it was nice to come back to. I think the depth of the storytelling combined with the simplicity of the rules makes it so much fun to play. And that's why I was able to get Jim involved pretty easily. He was my Warhammer partner back in high school and in early college. And, teaching him the game was really easy, but you have all these units to choose from and they look so beautiful on the table. That is still what gets me excited about Oathmark, is getting those armies out on the table with the banners flying in the various colors and facing off against a friend and just having some laughs, but at the same time trying to outthink them and outplay them on the table. It's lovely.
It is actually, it's just good fun. And
as far as the videos are concerned, I like to share that, and I would like to see this game do well because I enjoy it, and I think both Joseph A. McCullough and Osprey, and of course North Star Miniatures, have done phenomenal jobs with everything from the rules to the range of models. And I want more models to come out like those orcs and heavy elves and elven cavalry and everything else. I will be excited about the next model release after the orcs, because none of us play orcs over here.
Oh, really?
But I think there's a lot of opportunities for some really cool stuff to come out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know the guys that work at North Star and the sculptors there, I know it's all being worked on. The world has changed again, thank you, Mr. Putin. But so that's probably put some pressure on the supply chain again and put some stuff back. I mean, we can just see what's going out there. There's prices are going up all over the place. So just people like Foreground. I don't know if you guys know Foreground Publishing.
No.
They make terrain, so pre-printed MDF. It's all painted up. One of the biggest, certainly in my mind, might not necessarily be true, but in my mind, one of the biggest companies out there producing really nice terrain, and I've got some of their stuff. And they are closing shop because of cost. So I suspect that's one of the reasons why we've seen these delays. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just surmising. They're making it out of plastic, and plastic's made out of oil, so we know where that's going. We're all paying more for that sort of stuff, aren't we? So, but yeah, I'm super excited I'm actually super excited for the orcs and for the goblin slaves that are going to be coming out, because I'm just super excited about all of their stuff going out. But the content's still going to be coming out. I don't know if you saw the Crusader stuff that they've just released as well. Have you seen that?
No, what are you talking about?
North Star do a range. They produce a range called Crusader Miniatures.
Yeah.
So if you go and have a look on the web page there, they've done some like half orcs, and they're just releasing some goblins. They are all metal, so there's obviously lots of people not so keen on that, but they are a very simple sculpt. They are not GW detailed, but they are a beautiful sculpt. And I've just bought the half orcs. I bought the brood that they're doing, which is like a beastman type army. They got some really sweet ogres. So there's lots of stuff still coming out fantasy wise from these guys that you can fit into your Oathmark army and actually, cross over with all of Joe's games, to be honest. So I'm just the more stuff they do, the more content we can keep doing, I suppose. It's a shame they can't release that's everything we want all at once, but then we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Nor could we afford it. Yeah, I did see those, by the way, Matt, in the North Star newsletter.
Yes.
They did look good, but I mean, their plastic models are so good that I'm willing to wait for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
When Chris said that he bought some, off the shelf for cheap, I'm like, what's cheaper than $1 a miniature? So I'm curious to see what he brings over to the house next time. Because
200 miniatures for $10.
Oh my goodness!
How much? Where are they from?
From China.
Wow. Okay. I'm interested to see what they look like now as well.
Hopefully they do get to me.
Yeah.
The bases that you bought for them are going to be more expensive than the miniatures you're going to slap on the base, buddy.
They really are. It was like $500 for $20 plus shipping. So
500 figures for $20.
No. 500 bases. 500 bases. Like, I know the viewers can't see it, but 500 of like these square looking bases. Okay. I call them viewers. The listeners cannot view what I'm showing you.
They cannot.
Yeah.
It's a losing battle over here. I don't know why I fight it. But I'm anxious to get my hands on some of those bases because I have a bunch more Skaven archers I need to put together. Because right now my forces for Nightfalls is lacking in the range combat department, especially going up against knives and blocks. Elves and blocks of 20 human archers that my opponents are bringing to the table. So gotta get some more Skaven out there.
Yeah.
I don't even bring archers against you anymore, Michael.
Yeah, you don't like the undead. That's true.
Like, these units are either gonna somehow catch a wizard or necromancer out and win the game, or do literally like take off 6 models all game. So it's so I don't know if you need archers against me.
Well, it's not easy to play undead this well. I don't have shielding, man.
No.
Yeah. I just started bringing more cavalry.
Which has been exciting.
You need crunchy.
Yeah, that's right.
It. You just need crunchy.
That's right.
So I like the Skaven models, I have to say. Temptation's always there to go and buy some new stuff, but I'm not going to. I just bought some Snake Men stuff, so I suspect they're going to get a run out of something as well. So the Frostgrave Ghost Archipelago kit stuff. So I'm going to see what we can do with them. So I definitely got a unit there. I bought it in the thoughts of actually using it for another game, but using it to bring it into Oathmark as well. There could be good goblins or something, aren't they? So
everything can be a good goblin, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're the catch-all for all demi-humans.
Yes. So, but yeah, okay. But yeah, so what's in the future? I suppose what's in the future for you, Chris? And is your plans, now you're back, you get allowed to game again, regularly.
Yeah.
You've got your new son?
Daughter. First
I remember that.
Third kid. Well, yeah.
Bad.
third kid, first daughter. So yeah, so that's new. But new in this job I haven't had very long. But apart from all of personal stuff here, what's on the horizon for Oathmark is those units that I got hopefully coming in from China. And that's going to take a while to paint all that. I don't know if I'm ever going to field 200 soldiers at once. So that will. I mean, I guess I could.
If you made them all goblin slave, you could, mate.
Human soldiers, what? That's 2,400 points. I could probably swing that.
There you go.
So,
Chris, I should have told you this before you bought 200. You're only allowed to field 80. That's 4 units of 20.
Yeah, that's right. I was planning on customizing a lot of these. So, and they're I don't think they're even all the same pose. It's like they've got about 6 different poses, and they do repeat those poses like a ton of times. So, and so I will. Yeah, I'm going to be messing with these, and then who knows in the future? I would like to get some new models. It just depends on this campaign. I think if this campaign is a year-long campaign, I'm just going to need some cavalry, and I'm going to be good for models for the next year. But if Jim or Michael ever decide they want to try out some other units and we play like a sub-campaign or something fun like that, we'll see. So, yeah. So as far as Oathmark goes, I've been kind of working on a mat. I bought a fake fur mat and put a bunch of green spray paint on it, and so I shaved it down first. It looks like grass, but the problem is it's a 3x3, so it's not big enough for a game. And then second off, I was a little thick on the spray paint. I got to kind of comb it out so it's not as clunky.
You have to comb your fur mat. Oh, goodness.
After painting it.
Yeah. That sounds wrong.
I know. Hey, it was the first time, right? That's how I learned, by doing it wrong the first time.
It's like high school all over again.
Except if it's stormtrooper models for Star Wars, I will do that wrong 5 times and then I'll get it right.
Well, then you'll have me paint them, is what you mean. But the nice thing about having this campaign is I have, my Oathmark dance card filled up for the next 5 years. Chris is saying 1. No, this is going to be a 5-year campaign.
Oh, gosh.
It definitely sounds like it to me.
Yeah, I'll be in my mid-50s by the time this thing ends, but I'm excited for it. So
you'll be in your dotage. I won!
We have talked about limiting it to like 3 campaign years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what we're gonna do, just because people like to switch up what they're doing in armies, and that way if somebody falls behind, there is an end in sight to keep playing.
That is one. Yeah, that's the other problem, isn't it? If you get somebody starts sort of getting ahead of everybody else, and it's like, you get to that. There's a tipping point, isn't there? There's always a tipping point in campaigns. It's like, well, doesn't matter what I do now, I'm kind of done. You're going to win.
That can be the case, but I think the way we have this campaign set up, and also Joseph and McCullough in the core rulebook has it set up, is like, even if you lose a bunch of games, you're not at a huge disadvantage on the table. It's not like the other players getting a whole bunch of advantages that they're racking up that they bring to the table, or you got a bunch of disadvantages. Like, the biggest disadvantage you're ever going to have playing a game of Oathmark, you're going to have access to all your troop types. It just might be -1 activation. So as long as you're in it for the story and not the overall win, the important thing is you feel like you have a chance every time you come to the table, because that's what really sucks, is when you come up to the table and you're like, there's no way I can win this game. That's when people stop playing.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you don't win the odd game, it's just, why am I playing this? This is and the other, I think, I mean, I don't know about yourselves. One thing I do get frustrated with is I start tailoring my army to my opponent, and then that stalemate comes about as well, and that's that can be a bit annoying. It's like, the same battle we basically played for the last 6 weeks, because it's just different slightly different terrains, but it's pretty much the same troops. And I like that. I like a little bit of it being mixed up a little bit. So
that actually suggests a lack of tailoring. Normally, like if I seen Chris show me a look, the next time I go to fight him, it's going to be a different look that I show to him, and we'll go back and forth like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible to get stuck in some ways with inexperience that I have no possible flanking unit. I'm going to have a bad campaign, right? So you can get stuck in some ruts like that. But for the most part, I feel like even with the 10 territories we brought, I'm able to customize each game enough, especially with spell options and stuff like that, that I can kind of give my army a bit of a different flavor. And I don't feel like I am necessarily screwed against anything, right? So I might have all these rangers, right? And I play Michael's Undead, I'm like, I'm not bringing the rangers. Or if I am, I better find a way to make them useful and hit some mages. But then against Jim and all of his archers, I might bring some rangers and say, okay, so Jim's going to be able to fire further than I can, but maybe these rangers can go forward 6 inches and get some arrows off on some elves. And that would be effective. So your army kind of gets to tailor itself against who you play against, but then it's like that with spells too. I versed the elves. I casted smoke a lot of times. Just
twice, if you recall. Then you failed to cast smoke 2 times after that.
Oh my gosh, yes, yep.
But you had a plan. It just didn't work out.
And I brought 3 units of cavalry up against Jim. I'm just waiting until the day that he finds out that making the ground really muddy or something like that is going to be my demise.
Does he listen to this?
I hope not.
Because he may well just have found out, my friend.
right. But there's just so many things we haven't played with, and there's even old things, old opinions that we had that might change over time. I used to say I'm never bringing a mage above level 2 because if I spend turns casting and I don't get it, that's such a waste of points. But I've been playing with a Bodak, a unit that we've never played with really, and with those 4 dice, trying to casting number 7 or 8 spells is actually not too crazy. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've just been getting lucky lately. I think I had one really, really bad experience with the level 5 mage, recorded and put on a YouTube video. And then I said, these guys are dumb. I'm never playing with them again. And in reality, it was just
smoke.
Yeah, in reality, it was just a bad game. And so even then, my opinion changes over time. But I just take it all back to say, I don't think I think playing with being limited to the same things over and over is what might go stale, but I'm not sure, as far as we are concerned, if we're going to hit a wall of, okay, we deployed the terrain the same, we deployed the units the same, I know what you're going to cast, you know what I'm going to cast, let's just go through the motions and we know how this game plays out. Even then, like, even with chess, you can still get like 7 moves in and find yourself in a whole brand new game. Right?
With 10 territories, I find that we're not so much limited by the troops that we can bring as the models we have. And I think if anything gets stale, is because I don't have 30 goblin wolf riders that I can bring to a game at this point. I only got 15, or I got Jim has 5 elven cavalry that I'm looking at, and I got 5 revenant cavalry. If I could bring more, that would certainly change things up, but it's much more the models than the game mechanics, which kind of put you in a bind sometimes, especially for newer players. But you keep expanding that model collection of yours, and you're going to have a bunch of different ways to play. And then we do run kingdom events in coordination with our campaign, so you got that chance that 25% of your force could be mercenaries and come from a completely different army list. So it's been fun.
Actually, that's a very good point. That's not something we've been doing. I completely forgot about the kingdom events. That's definitely something we should be thinking about introducing. See, this is why we do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I think we're going to need to do that for sure. That'll freak things up.
It's not like they've been crazy kingdom events at this point. I think what'd you roll, Chris? In turn 1, you had the chance to change out one of your kingdom territories.
Yeah, I just put this stuff together, and it's like, hey, if you've changed your mind between the draft phase and before the first game,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, thank you. I want to try out what I brought.
It seems much better.
Yeah, but then it all balanced out when I got like magic items for half price on the next game. I thought it was just one magic item.
You know, the elves are pretty steadfast, so they've had 2 turns in a row, and we've only played 2 with no kingdom events. So they don't like change, is what I'm thinking. They're playing the role.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're fully focused on the war effort. There's nothing else like that they could be finding. So.
I know. I like that. I completely forgot about that. I'm going to have to tell Martin, if he's not listened to this, that we're going to do that, just to mess with it even more. So I like that. I like messing with things more.
You paid a few pounds for that little supplement. You might as well get your money worth.
No, absolutely. We're using quite a bit out of it. It's not that. I don't know why not. That's just bizarre. So we will be doing that. So I'm looking forward to that now, because that's really going to mess things up when we get into the battles. And paying half price for magical items sounds quite handy.
And I will say, since we play multiple games in each campaign turn, the fact that kingdom event affects every single one of the games potentially makes it really interesting. It can go really poorly if you roll poorly, or really well if you roll well. Across. Chris, what you got? 4 games that you got to play this campaign turn?
Yeah. Because I attacked 2 people and 2 people attacked me.
Yeah.
I've attacked in 4 places, so I've got something similar actually. So that's going to be painful.
Yeah.
It's being aggressive's not always great.
It's just kind of a rehashing of Michael's first round, because Jim and I didn't attack anybody, and out of nowhere, Michael just starts trying to take our lands.
Oh.
Right?
I was successful 1 out of 2 times. Almost 2 out of 2.
Not against me. Yeah, almost. Jeez Louise. Here we are, like, being all, like, gentlemanly. We're going to take these open territories that nobody has. And so we're looking around. What do you want? I want that one. And we look around, and Michael, what do you want? And he points at my territory. I want that one.
Michael wanted to play Oathmark. I'm like, you too. That's what Michael wanted.
Michael, I'm already here. He's like, yeah, just move. Or I'll make you move.
I've just come here to smash your face in.
Yeah. We could have gone on to campaign turn 2.
No.
Oh, wow. It sounds like we've got a lot going on. It's going to be, are you planning still to record, and Michael, and put out more content?
Absolutely. That is the plan. We had a good time doing it last time. I'd forgotten how much battery power it takes when I film one of these games. I mean, the last game was 3 hours almost. So I'll be better prepared next time. I had to switch to the tripod mounted iPad there for a bit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So won't do that again.
It does suck the battery, right?
It does.
Especially if you leave your iWatch on as
Yeah,
connected as well, as I noticed last time I started doing some recording. I was like, well, battery's like disappearing. Here's
a pro tip for you, Matt. Throw it in airplane mode.
While
recording.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Nobody calls you, and it's not trying to access other things. It's good.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is a really good. Actually, never thought of that before. So I will be doing that in future for sure. And I also found out another way of record. I was watching something. I didn't know there was like a 4K setting on your iPhone, so you could go in. Yeah, I just found that out. So
you don't want to get too high resolution.
No. That's more. That's better for when I'm doing some of my other content, like building the terrain that I'm building at the moment. For you've got some of it as well, the battle system stuff. So
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
I'm gonna do a load of stuff on that. I'm gonna see if I can chew through 3 boxes of the stuff and see how quickly I can build 1 box of it.
Really quickly, you'll find. So
yeah, I know. I just thought it'd be fun. So it's going to do it for that. So yeah, lots of things going on. So I'm looking forward to seeing more content. I've seen Chris fluke it over and over again as usual.
it hasn't been that way lately.
He's lost his power of dice.
He has a little bit.
Yeah. It's like a build-up power, right? So without playing for so long, it just kind of wanes. Yeah. It'll get back to that point, but
God, let's hope not.
All I need is 8 10s. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Oh look, exactly what I need when I need it.
Yeah.
Oh,
go you.
Imagine that. I even played with my own dice and they're not hot. So
that's wrong.
I know. I don't even know what's going on.
So thank you guys for both coming on. We've been going for quite a bit. I'm sure the listeners are going to be going, when are these guys going to shut up? But we're not. We're going to keep going now.
Yeah. Okay, so part 2. All right.
Part 2. So
intermission.
Intermission. Yeah. I am going to get you both on singularly as and going to be interviewing you. Kind of like we said, we're going to talk Oathmark campaign, building your own campaign rules, etc. with Michael. Chris, I'm going to be being attacked by some sort of vicious moth.
That's our topic?
That's going to be our topic. Moths and how vicious they are.
I don't have a lot to say about that. All right.
Good luck with that one, Chris.
How come he got the campaign one?
I made the campaign.
Exactly.
Darn it, he's right.
You would have to talk about playing in the Friends campaign.
This is why I have friends.
What do you like about playing in someone else's campaign?
And what do you dislike about it?
I don't gotta plan it. I just gotta do what he says.
Don't have to read the rules beforehand. I just show up and make him explain every little detail.
I think we certainly should be talking about building new army lists and where you go from, and how easy that was, and talking new figure ranges, because that sounds like a good that sounds like an interesting conversation about what 200 Chinese models look like. And how easy they are to paint, etc.
They're medieval models from China. Let's clarify that.
Medieval models from China. Okay.
Will they or will they not have Chinese features? Is the question that I am now asking myself.
Are they like terracotta Chinese warriors type thing? Or?
Coming from the east.
That would be pretty unique for a human army, actually.
I'm sure there's.
Hoping they are.
You go to the Facebook page, you probably will see exactly that.
Oh yeah.
I've got enough samurai and actually painted to do a Eastern army, so I should do that, but I'm not going to. Not just yet. I wanted to build Dark Age. They're not mine. Sengoku period, and they would look weird. So
I'm bringing this back to wrapping it up.
Okay. Sorry. Rabbit warring. Yes. And anyway.
So anyways, guys, thank you for listening to Oathmark. I have been your guest, Chris Peterson.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you for bringing our host.
What I was going to ask, because I haven't done it for ages, Chris, was if you, because I'm awful at it, could ask, because he's really good at it, ask Michael a silly question, because we haven't had that for such a long time.
What the heck? I am not prepared.
Oh!
Michael, if you could find the best way to end this podcast right now, what would it be and why?
Cut to black.
Right, that's it. I'm sulking. I'm out of here. Okay, guys. It's been great talking to both of you. Thank you for both coming on this evening. Much appreciated. I know the listeners are going to enjoy it. I hope they do anyway. I don't care. We will. No, I do care. Thank you, guys. There is at the bottom in here, there's a Patreon. If you want to go and get on that, that's be great because I need a new speaker. Look at me begging. I hate it, but I do need a new speaker. So
Do you mean microphone? Is it like in
that's
Britain land? Do you say speaker when you are talking microphone?
I meant mic.
Okay.
I need a.
I'm like, I'm not paying for your new car audio, buddy. That's not what's happening here.
No, I need a new diffuser doodah whacker thing machine. So because the audio needs improving as far as I'm concerned. I bought one.
Saying that you need a new camera would have also been acceptable, so that every time that you and Chris say viewer, we can put this up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely happy with that as well. Microphone would be at the start, just so I can get a bit better quality on there. But anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Matt.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye, Michael.
I love you both, you
I love you both as well, you assholes. Anyway, and I will say good night, good morning, and good afternoon wherever you are.